Welcome back to the Map for College learning community. My name is Ernest Minelli, founder of Map for College. This video will discuss the importance of honest communication to ensure better results for your overall process of considering your post-secondary options for college and career opportunities. What do I mean by honest communication? I think you need to be authentic. I think sometimes students have certain mindsets in mind. Parents have certain outlooks, and when the application process starts in a very generic form, there are general discussions that usually take place. But what I find in working with students and families in a variety of settings is that oftentimes the big ticket topics get pushed down the road. And the longer you push those big ticket topics down the road, the bigger they will be when you actually discuss them. So I'm a big believer of putting all the cards on the table. In other words, if you're having a discussion with your parents, with your family, you need to be honest about what your goals are, what your objectives are. Maybe there might be a difference of opinion, or there might be a synergy of opinion, but you don't know until you share the ideas. For example, the three biggest reasons why I see communication patterns that need, let's say, third-party objectivity, which I'm happy to provide. Three of the biggest topics have to do with location. In other words, sometimes there is a disagreement of perspective as to whether the student would be better served being closer to home or trying to go to school far away, having a new experience. So sometimes the geography comes into play because maybe parents want one thing, and it's not always the parents in uniformity. Sometimes it is one parent who is very vocal about one point of view, and the student is very vocal about another point of view. And again, that's where the third-party objectivity comes in. So I would encourage students and families to discuss, and even if you have different points of view, discuss them early in the process, because over time, some of your viewpoints might change. In other words, some of your perspective might change as a student, as a parent, but having that information available at an early stage of the process really helps to guide that discussion. Another topic that comes up would be return on investment, finance, ability to send to be confident in sending a requisite application for financial aid that may have the prospect of either qualifying for need-based aid and or merit-based aid. I would encourage students and families not to get sticker shock on the front end. So many students and parents look at the price tag for a particular college or university, and they think, oh my gosh, we could never afford that, or we'll never get the return on investment. I would encourage you to do a little bit deeper research, because some of the schools with the highest price tags on the front end are also some of the schools with the largest endowments and the largest percentage commitments to funding need-based financial aid on the back end. So I have experience personally where the school that was the most expensive on paper at the front end of the process actually became the most affordable once the need-based and merit-based aid considerations came into play. And it certainly provided a very high quality return on investment. So I was very happy, my family was very happy, we had synergy. So you want to do the research to find out what percentage of need-based aid, based on the FAFSA, based on the expected family contribution of the FAFSA, and again, we will have a separate video just about the expected family contribution, about the changes coming up to the FAFSA, some of which are really beneficial, some of which are a little bit concerning, but we will get that information to you in a separate video in which we'll do a deep dive. for the purpose of this video, the honest communication theme, you want to talk about the return on investment. You want to talk about which academic departments and which degrees and which institutions of higher learning might give you a better prospect for having a fulfilling, meaningful education at an affordable price that doesn't put you in as much debt and doesn't put you into a situation where you're constrained. You want to have options that get better as you get better educated. So geography, return on investment, and then third thing that I see a lot of parents and students discussing, and I'll put discussing in robust terms, would be just the nature of whether the student would be better suited to a smaller school, a medium-sized school, a large school, or whether the student might be open to a variety of different educational settings. Sometimes having that discussion early can help you to prioritize and organize your list of schools where you might want to do campus visits. And maybe you really prioritize your campus visits toward those schools where you really need to make the most significant learning curve and you need to make the biggest investment of time and energy to do the research, and you need to be in person as a family to do that research. So I would encourage those kitchen table discussions. We can help facilitate those discussions. We can help to guide the process to help you take that theme of honest communication and marshal that effort toward a better outcome for your educational purpose. And oftentimes, the better the communication is early in the process, the better the process tends to flow at the various stages of discernment. So once again, we will be happy to help with those discussions. Honest communication at an early stage of the process will represent a great return on investment for your college application prospects. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please like and share, subscribe to our growing YouTube channel, and become a part of the Map for College learning community. Turn on notifications to be notified when we record and post a new video. Thank you so much for taking the time, and welcome to the Map for College learning community.